Like who thinks of that? So we're led to believe in the series that he gets this idea from a comic that he's reading about this soldier, Yahtzee soldier, Ilse something, I can't remember her surname, and she used to do the same thing. She used to make ornaments out of people from the concentration camps, and you're led to believe that that's where he gets the idea from. It's not confirmed, and he never states that is where he gets the idea from, but that's the kind of, that's the theory that Ryan Murphy has drawn. But officers didn't just see that all of those things. They discovered skin suits of women that actually resembled his mother. So he was almost trying to make suits to become his mother. And he actually said that he crafted these suits and he would get into the suits so that he could become his mother. He did admit to making over 40 nighttime visits between 1947 and 1952 to the graveyards, and he said that he would dig up freshly buried corpses of middle-aged women that he believed looked like his mother. And he gave a rationale for, like, he would say he would only go for the ones that were freshly buried because it was hard to work with the older corpses. Do people not smell this? Like, that must have smelled so bad. And he was living in that squalor. So after his arrest, he was ordered to undergo psychiatric observations, obviously, because no one would think that this is a normal person's behavior. And after he had these investigations, he was actually diagnosed with a mental health condition, and he was found unfit to stand trial. And because he was found unfit to stand trial, he was institutionalized in a mental hospital. After about 10 years of being held in the mental hospital, he does eventually stand trial in 1968. However, Ed Gein is found not guilty by reason of insanity, and he was basically made to live out his life in psychiatric hospitals. So Ed spent decades in state mental hospitals, and he died in 1984 from a respiratory illness. In the series, you're led to believe that he got some form of cancer, which is what led to the respiratory illness that he then dies from. But after this long case, there are so many questions that get left unanswered. For example, the question of whether or not he killed Henry. I think that is a question that did need an answer that he just chose to take to the grave. Maybe he didn't unalive his brother, but I think that he did. So there are many questions that are left unanswered, and some of these can be observed through the academic lens. So I want us to step into the academic lens and think about different lenses that we can look at when it comes to Ed Gein. Each lens offers some kind of insight, but it also raises very uncomfortable questions about cause, responsibility, and how society remembers violence. And it will link into the Ryan Murphy series. But the first thing that I want to think about is trauma and attachment. His mother was extremely domineering.